Thanks. Welcome, everybody. This is exciting today. I know we've been talking about this, like we've been so excited about this. And for all of you who are new, the reason we're excited about this is because we started this community about 3 years ago, and this is the day, this is our first opportunity to like hand it over to you guys. Like, we're done, you know. It's like, okay, we're tired. No, but it's just a fun opportunity to come together as a community and really understand why we're here and what this is for. And so that last song was so amazing, and what it made me think of was I was thinking about how far Tom and I go back, and probably Camp Good Grief was our first experience together, and that is exactly what Camp Good Grief is we're better together when those kids come together and express their grief and can share that with them. And Karen's been there, and it's an amazing opportunity to be better together, you know. So Unity Grand Valley actually is in existence because of two women sitting here today, Debbie Caldwell and Deb Jensen. Thank you very much. So they visited Columbine Unity, and they were completely inspired. They were split open in a moment of awareness, and they saw the possibility. An awareness that having a place that has a positive energy, open doors, open minds, and open hearts could actually be possible. A place where anyone and everyone could come and practice the presence of the divine together. A place that inspires you to step away from the ego and experience the unfoldment of your divine nature. A place where words could open the heart and soothe the soul. Words that floated from the humble sharing of others, sailing on the stream of words and music. A place where spirit flows freely in, among, and around everyone present. A place that embraces your humanness while celebrating your divinity. A place where you can delve deeper and deeper into your understanding and awareness of your true nature and the divine link that binds us all as one. A place where you can share your time, your talent, and your treasure. A place where your spiritual language and practice may be different from one another, but linked as the sacred human quest to dance with the source. They brought their deep desire to create that place to people that saw the vision and shared their quest. And actually, Positive Pathways was created. Dennis and Robert, who are not here, were part of that original group, starting as Positive Pathways. But we chose Unity Worldwide Ministries for our model and our mothership because of the freedom of spiritual expression and exploration that they give us, that they provide. In 1889, when Charles and Myrtle Fillmore had experienced the healing power of prayer, they created a place where people could come and practice the presence of God together, from all traditions, all faiths, and all walks of life. Myrtle was raised in the Protestant faith, and Charles was unchurched. He didn't have any religious affiliation. And together their quest was to create a place, a container that would facilitate your relationship with your God, whatever that looked like. A place where you would experience the expansion of your own consciousness and become a better Protestant, a better Buddhist, better Catholic, maybe even a better Hindu. They did not teach a doctrine. They taught basic truth principles, the teachings that had been handed down through generations, many teachers, sages, and gurus. The universal truth that within every one of our consciousness lies a healing creative energy, a force that creates worlds and can heal all troubles. They taught that we are co-creators with this source, and it is available to all mankind regardless of nationality, religion, status, or our past. The teacher and way shower that we use, Jesus that we follow, Jesus the Christ, was a living testament of our interconnectedness, our kinship to the kingdom. And this kingdom that he spoke of, he taught, is within each of us. So 7 of us continue to create the container for Unity Grand Valley. That was a clearing for you to walk in the door and create the beloved community that is now Unity Grand Valley. The original 6 were Susan and Scott Hall, Deb Jensen, Diana Connor Reed, and Debbie and David Caldwell. And then I joined a little later. So you guys want to stand up? so everybody can know who you are. Come on, stand up. All these new people. These are the original founders. We work to create our vision, mission, and values, which we will explore more today and also in our class after the potluck. But more importantly, we wanted a new paradigm of ministry. We wanted a paradigm of ministry that is more sustainable in these current times. A ministry where the well-being of the community is not affected by the rise and fall of the minister, but rather connected to the fulfillment of purpose in the lives of the people, which has been described as mission-centric ministry. Mission-centric ministry is an organizational practice that we learned from a teacher by the name of Gary Simmons. Gary coaches New Thought ministries across the country how to shift from minister-centric ministries, where the well-being of the ministry depends on who the ministers are, because the church's identity is so identified with who the minister is, to a more sustainable, mission-centric ministry. We thought that if we could begin this ministry with this unique focus, we would not be driven by the comings and goings of who the spiritual leaders are, but what we commit to accomplish in our collective lives, our purpose, our lives being transformed. Our hope was that when we then have that transformative experience, being so inspired, we would all want to go out into the world and make it a better place. This organizational practice is based on the members, or owners, as he refers to them, maintaining a container for what he calls the beloved community. The organization is not run by a minister, but by every owner participating in the function, the health, and the sustainability. This can be difficult to imagine and shift into because any of us who grew up in a church experienced the minister-centric model. And we've struggled with that. I mean, as a board of trustees, we feel like we've kind of created that already as a board of trustees being the minister because we didn't know any other way to do it. So this is a huge exploration for all of us in how to do this a different way. Gary teaches that the beloved community is the heart of mission-centric ministry. And when we build an organizational practice around the intentionality that we exist for the purpose of creating in our felt experience, our shared experience, our lives being transformed, then we're able to be with any experience we are having without feeling diminished by it, but rather empowered by it because of the collective community. He says that when we create a community that supports and holds a sacred space for this, we occur in our collective experience, then the collective experience becomes essential because the transformative experience is a difficult one. I can attest to that one. It takes effort and motivation, and sometimes we go into our transformative moments kicking and screaming. Instead of recognizing what is happening in our world and in our personal life. That something is needing to be midwifed and something needs to be hospiced. And I love those words, that there's something that we have that needs to be brought into our lives and into the collective, and those things that need to be taken away and hospiced. And when you think of hospice, you think of a gentle release, not a hard one, you know? And we're living in that in-between oftentimes, in between the world of materiality and the stuff that's happening in the world, and in the dimension of ourselves that is the infinite and eternal. We're in the struggle of actualizing that part of us that can transcend any life situation. We have to have the capacity to do so. And individually, it's very difficult unless we cloister ourselves. None of us can do that these days, so we are constantly bombarded by all the influences that cause us to have to pay attention to matters outside of ourselves, rather than focus on the purpose and passion that we possess, that we are here to express and offer to the world. Unity Grand Valley provides this opportunity. The opportunity to face our individual transformative moments with the support of the collective. We are here for each other. I think it would be safe to say that if you have been in this community for any length of time, someone here has been a sounding board, a friendly hug, or a wise sage for you. The idea of the beloved community is linked primarily to Reverend Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, and his mentor, Reverend Dr. Howard Thurman. While their focus at the time was on the current struggle of racism, civil rights, and intolerance. In their own ministries, the bulk of their work was to create a community that would be an antidote to what was happening in the world. What they were doing was bringing heaven to earth. The kingdom of God that is within you, something God already gave us. And if we aren't experiencing the kingdom within, we are out of alignment with the truth of who we are. The truth that can set us free from the limitations that we impose on ourselves. Reverend Jim Lockhart with the Centers for Spiritual Living community is another big part of this mission-centric ministries. And he works very closely with Gary Simmons. I think he might even be Gary Simmons' mentor. But did we get slides for this? Okay. So he says, the beloved community is a collection of individuals who are learning how to love themselves, one another, and the universe. It includes creating the experience of belonging and experiencing the wonders of who we are individually and collectively. Whoops, hang on a second. It is a place where purpose and passion meet, where we practice being the person we desire to be and support others in the effort. As we are in the process of learning how to love ourselves, each other, and the universe, and as we recognize that we come together for that purpose, that intent, then we also have to acknowledge that we are here to create an experience. And our experience together unleashes who we are. So we can be the change, and we can support each other in that intentionality. To create the beloved community of Unity Grand Valley, as the board of directors, the board of trustees, as the board of trustees, we created the values that we felt would be important to embody or develop the consciousness of. So the first one is love. We honor the Christ spirit in each unique individual through friendship, respect, compassion, and forgiveness. We work together in harmony to create a sustainable community. Love is all there is. When there is love, when we are in the consciousness of love, anything is possible. And I have to say, I really had fun going through these values again, because I'm thinking, I can't believe we wrote those. Back in the day, we were so new, and it was just, they're so amazing. And the next one is spirit, being in the consciousness of spirit. Through meditation and prayer, we affirm our oneness with God. As we expand our spiritual awareness, we awaken to divine spirit expressing through us as imagination and creativity. And then community. Being in the consciousness of community, we embrace diversity and openness in a welcoming spiritual center that provides an inspiration and opportunity while celebrating our wholeness and unity and giving space to our humanness. Being in community allows us to be known, to be seen, to belong, to be heard. That's why we show up. That's why we join a community. Or as my brother from Hollywood calls it, his fancy church, they call it their tribe. We have a tribe to identify with, to express to, and through. The next one is integrity. Committed to unity principles, shared leadership, and clear communication, we empower others to travel positive spiritual paths, allowing individual paths to the unfoldment of our true being. We are in integrity when we know we are expressing our true nature and allowing and supporting others to do the same. And abundance. We gratefully receive the presence of the indwelling spirit and choose harmony, peace, and joy as we acknowledge this abundance. We share in this abundance our financial resources to sustain the beloved community. When we are in the consciousness of abundance, we know that all is working out for our highest good, individually and collectively. And then lastly, service. We continue the flow of prosperity by generously sharing our blessings through sacred service to our community and others, creating a sustainable vessel where each individual can transform and grow into the unfoldment of who they are. The challenge we have with New Thought communities is that we are very autonomous. It just comes naturally with our belief system. We're all on this path individually, but yet together as well. But not all of us are going to show up on Sunday mornings. We're all the other places on Sunday mornings, which half of our regulars are gone today, especially in this beautiful Grand Valley. We have a lot to do. Unless you get up early enough like Karen and Dale and them and do Serpent's Trail before they get here. Thank you. Gathering a New Thought community is a bit like herding cats. Has anybody ever tried that? I'll tell you what, if you ever have a family business, you know exactly what that is. But here's a little clip about herding cats. You'll like this one. Can you see the screen? Okay.
This man right here is my great-grandfather. He's the first cat herder in our family. Herding cats.
Anybody can herd cattle. Holding together 10,000 half-wild short hairs. Well, that's another thing altogether.
Being a cat herder is probably about the toughest thing I think I've ever done.
I got this one this morning, right here. And if you look at his face, it just ripped to shreds. You know?
You see the movies, you hear the stories. I'm living a dream. Not everyone.
Wouldn't do nothing else.
It ain't an easy job, but when you bring a herd into town and you ain't loved to one of them, ain't a feeling like in the world.
That's good. That's some brilliant advertising, isn't it? Is that perfect? My favorite part was the sneeze, and then the roller, the lint roller, hair roller. Because we are all into our own lives, which is important, the whole idea of doing things together as a part of the beloved community can be a challenge for us. It's hard to get us together. So the time that we do spend together is very important. The time we spend together is a time we energize ourselves and realign with the dynamic field we are trying to create. And hopefully when you enter into this space, you feel a certain vibration or tone. For me, it's a feeling of coming home and delightful anticipation. I was thinking about what it felt like when we were together, and it's just like, feels so good, but yet there's this anticipation of something fun that's going to happen and exciting. And another concept of the beloved community is aligning ourselves with something that wants to happen, something greater than our individual wants, needs, dreams, and aspirations. There is an important dimension of recognition that we have to call on a higher purpose if we are going to step out of ourselves, the self that keeps replicating our current reality and making our life so difficult. Gary Simmons relates a story in one of his videos about a conversation he heard on NPR where they were discussing the struggle of young people going into the college experience and picking a major. So what they were saying is, what they were proposing is that we ask young people entering into the college experience not what degree they wanted, but what their mission was. Can you imagine the difference that would have made in the lives of us and young people? I mean, how many of us have degrees that we've never used? You know, all my siblings. So our mission here at Unity Grand Valley is that we are a welcoming spiritual community that inspires joy, peace, abundance, and the awakening of the divine potential in all. The beloved community is a place. It's a place for us to show up with all of our fears, our expectations, that are in our dreams that sometimes can get in our own way. So it's important to seek a higher purpose, a greater mission. So Jim Lockhart said, "We come together as imperfectly actualized beings regarding the expression of our potential. Then we try to grow spiritually in the company of others who mirror our imperfections back to us daily." Yeah. Our spiritual companions who lovingly and maybe not so lovingly mirror us can be our greatest teachers. And we as a beloved community show up for and in spite of each other. This is the beauty of the beloved community. I was on the phone yesterday with one of my mirrors, my mentors from this community that happens to be out of town. She helped me move beyond a big block of fear and step into faith and trust regarding a big life decision that I'm making. And she didn't tell me what I wanted to hear, trust me. She told me what she saw, what she heard, and reflected it back to me so then I could see it and I could make the difference. Dr. Martin Luther King says, "Our goal is to create a beloved community And this will require a qualitative change in our souls as well as a quantitative change in our lives. It is in the beloved community that we are supported, shifted, shaped, and spit out into the world to be the expression of the divine that we are meant to be. In the beloved community that is Unity Grand Valley, we all have a place, a purpose, and an opportunity to transform and be the change in the world. Thank you.